Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial, how to create a massage tool concept model with Shaper 3D. In this process video, I will briefly show you how I set up the needed basic sketches and then focus mainly on explaining how via smart direct modeling I created all the interesting surface details. As always, this session is filled with many interesting sketching and modeling tips and tricks. So please feel free to download the shared final design so you can follow this demonstration better. Great, let's get started. First, I would like to take a look at the sketches and explain everything. What do we have here? So this looks actually quite dense, but is very logical. So let's take a look at the folder. I will turn everything off. For example, we have the side sketch, then the left and right sketches for the hand opening. We have a sketch for the push button to build that got drawn on the ground and then rotated into position, a side profile and an arc, a grip detail, and also a sketch to project onto the body to indicate an interface element like a battery opening. And then in this folder, there we have all the building elements to actually create this design. So on the feet, main body, the hand opening element, there are the grip elements, and that's all. So not too much to create this design. Cool, no? Okay, so let's actually get started with here. And let me explain also a little sketching trick. So we will start with building an elliptical body. It's easy to do. We need an ellipse like this, and then we revolve it. To revolve it, we need to draw a center line. I have the center line actually here. And you see that this line is rather small. The way how I created the center line is actually two individual line elements. And both lines do have an equal constraint, are coincident to the arc center and horizontal. So when I move one point, you can see the other point moves with it. The main reason why I set this one up is simply to very easily being able to open and close profiles. So for the revolve command, here, let me move this back. I do not want to select the whole ellipse. I only want to select half of the ellipse. And the sketch solver in Shaper automatically actually slices sketch profiles by the way how lines intersect. You see, super easy. So all I have to do is make sure I select all the correct segments like this. Select my revolve axis and do a revolve. Very good. Cool. Now the body of the massage tool from the side is an ellipse, but from the front, this is not a circular cross section. Circular cross section because we would revolve half of the ellipse. So how do we create something that also from the front actually would look like an ellipse? And here is actually the profile for it. There you see it. And there you can see when I turn on the ellipse body, which we created, it's circular. The solution here is actually quite simple. We first have to scale this up a little bit through some test. I figured out this in this case needs to be 110%. So we make this a little bit bigger. And then we simply move this to the side as needed. Very good. And then we go to the opposite side. And this body, we will mirror one time. Tap on the screen, done. And there we are. Now we have these two elliptical objects. Both we will select in union. Sorry, not union. I meant intersect. And then keep originals off. Or if you want, you can keep them. So we have them for reference, but that thing is so easy to rebuild. And there we are. Now we have actually from this view a nearly elliptical profile. And to get that elliptical profile, this hard edge, we simply round. Yeah, and there we are. Now you see it from here, ellipse, from there an ellipse. Pretty nice. Very good. Okay. So this is our main body, and I will move this one out of the sketch group. There we are. And let's hide this. Now, going back to here. The next logical step is to work on the opening. I have an ellipse here at the center. And then I have a sketch left and right where I have 50% of the upper ellipse. And then I put in a CV curve. So this way, as you can see, the upper area of my second sketch maintains the profile of my initial ellipse, but at the bottom, it has a different shape. Little tip how I did this. So when you have your ellipse there, then we, sorry, where did it go? There it is. Then we simply draw a line. We can use the trim tool to remove this. Here, this we remove. Then we will lock actually this ellipse. So we can't change it. Go to spline, control point, very good. For tangency, we need one point out. Press, center, another press, and go back. Tangency, tangency, very nice. Where is the center? Here is the center, just a line which I lock. Main reason I can select these two CVs, symmetry, this line. And now when I move one point, you see the other one moves. I can drag this one down. Very good. Little tip, don't make this too long and don't make this too short. Give this a good distance and then you get a really nice flow. Very good. Okay. Let's go back to our sketches. So here I would like from this to this to this, and there you see already we have the profile sliced. Again, that's the reason why I set this up. Simply move this back. Very good. There's no intersection and do a loft. Very nice. So this body, I move out. This body actually was not built wide enough. Not a big deal. Simply select each side. Extrude them out a little bit. Very nice. That's good. One body. So the main one. This is our tool. Subtract. No originals we want to keep. Click done. There we are. Now we will look from the side. Really nice. You see the lower part is nicely arced and this part is horizontal. When we go to this view, let's turn on cut section. There we can see top nice and straight. And here we have a beautiful transition. Very good. At this point, we can round this a little bit based on how much we would like to do this. Cool. Okay. Let's go to the next easy element. For example, that would be the push button. So I created another ellipse. How did I get that ellipse to there? Very easy. So went to top view. I also have the grid all turned on and created myself an ellipse. Scaled it as needed. Then go to transform, select the ellipse body, and then we move this simply into the correct position. Rotate it. Try to rotate this correctly. And this is off. This is off. Ideally, we want the arrow to look perpendicular onto the ellipse. Very good. Okay. I will turn the center off. There we are. And here is this. Very nice. Good. So now the question is, do we want to make a button that will actually be fused to this model? Or let's say later we would like to 3D print this and have maybe a button we could take out. So it's a question, do we extrude and join, or do we extrude cut and then rebuild a button one more time? In this case here, I will use this in the sense of making a cavity into which we will model the button. So there we slice this clean away. Very good. Then select everything here again. Yeah, this looks good. And then push this in by 0.2 millimeters. Very good. Okay, very nice. So now this here, I can extrude 0.2, actually negative. And there is, we have a new button. Cool. Let's make this 0.3. I also work in centimeters. So that's the reason why 0.3. So this 0.3 centimeters would be 3 millimeters. So I have actually 1 millimeter, this one being raised on top. Very good. Okay. This edge we can round. Very nice. There you see actually in my design here, this is a little bit above. That's good. Here it's not. So actually this ring was not perfectly rotated. A little bit more, half a degree would have been better. Very good. So now let's go back to sketches. And I have my center. There's another element here. So what is this one doing? So I drew actually another ellipse. And then into this ellipse, I drew also a line. So when I select this and make a revolve, I have this body. And then from this body, I can remove this one. And then I have a small cavity there. Very nice. If this cavity is maybe a little bit too big, we can simply select it and then move the surface and shrink it. Very nice. And round this too. Cool. Okay. Tiny surfacing detail. Can also give a very small edge rounding there. And then one will later see that these sharp edges are rounded. It actually makes your model always look more refined. This is maybe a tick too small. This is too big. Yes, this looks better. Very good. Okay. To the next element. So the lower section has the vibration motor in. The upper section, that is where we hold it. And we don't necessarily want the vibrations go right into our hand. So we want to isolate or insulate actually the upper area from the lower area. And we could do this by left and right having kind of like a joint, a filler, ideally out of silicone, because it's not stiff. It absorbs a lot of the vibrations. And here, there you see I have a sketch. The sketch is actually a rectangle with perpendicular constraints, 0.5 centimeter, so 5 millimeter. And then here is a line. The line got locked, so I could set an angle. If I adjust this angle to 60, there you see how I'm rotating that rectangle. Now, this rectangle, I simply extrude, move it back. And here is my body. Double tap. You see that the 3D widget looks straight up. Move it a little bit. You see how this now got reoriented, and now I can slide it down into my design there. Very nice. Go to the other view, double tap, and mirror tab there. So we made a copy of this. Okay, good. Now what we will do is actually we will cut an opening left and right. And then also, obviously, we would like to have the pieces which we cut out too. So let's see what options we have. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and intersect. Keep originals on. And cut. Yeah, very nice. Done. Good. Let's see what we have. So this is gone. This is gone. Then this is actually a whole body. There you see we have actually these two elements. Very good. So this one, yeah, we can keep. So these two we need. And where's our main body? There. Cool. Okay, so off and off. That's the full body. So from this now, I will remove these two, subtract. And in this case now we can get rid of those cubes. And there we are. You see, we have everything. It really makes sense to give these objects names or move them into other folders or groups. I only named this one bottom now. because what can happen is when you add more elements to it or add it to a different element, the naming will change. So just so you know this. But for example, these elements here, joint left, these are done. So I select them in 3D view, then it highlights it in the overview, and I can easily give this the correct name. I don't know what is what here. Very good. And there, this is the button. Very nice. Okay, so now it's time to create our lag. Here again, I have a sphere and a rectangle. Very easy. I can rotate this. I drew this one simply this way, so it's very easy to constrain and sketch. And then I make a copy, move this over to where I need it to go. Turn off the copy function, move this to there. And let me turn this one on so I know where it has to go to. Very good. There we are. Yeah, so how do we rotate this now? Also here, bring this into the correct position. There we are. So when we double tap and then move the widget, you see how, hey, there's a sphere. It finds the correct center. Pretty cool. Now, based on whatever view I want to do this, from here, I can start rotating it 45 degrees. And then from here, rotate this too 15 degrees. Pretty nice. Yeah, this is good. So you see actually this, we turned the sphere kind of like into a socket and rotated everything around the center of the sphere. That's again the reason why I was moving the widget to the sphere and then it snapped to the center. And you can see that actually is very, very useful. So this sphere I will call lag. There we are. The lag at one point should also be split into two parts. So there's my here delete. And I will make myself a quick sketch. There we are. And revolve this. Very nice. So now this I would like to move over and rotate correctly, and it would be crazy to do. How do we align this actually up to the exact same rotation we did? And align, that is the key for it. So we can select now this ring and this ring, and look, there is an align command. Click. And there we are. Isn't that amazing? Click OK. And now we can move this to where we need it to be. Pretty nice. And if we want to, here we can position this and rotate this a little bit. So instead of just being cut at the center, we can customize where the lower section would be. Very good. Okay, now, how do we make two copies? We can move this with the copy function forward and backwards. Double tap. And this one we hide. Then double tap. Here we say subtract, keep, however, the removed body. Very good. So that's number one. There's another one. Double tap, and intersect. Don't keep. Yeah, there's the bottom one. And there's the top one. Pretty nice. Okay. So you see how I'm very slowly, step by step, working myself towards it. And all this I will move into a new folder. So let me drag this onto there. Because what I would like to build now is kind of like this sleeve. How did I do this? Actually, very easy. Let's do a test first. Double tap, and join. Very nice. Then I get here this sharp edge, and this sharp edge I can round. Okay, it doesn't really give me that much material. I could make this a tick smaller. I could make this a tick smaller. Okay, yeah, but no, that's not on the ground. How do I move everything? Double tap, double tap. Okay, so that's also good why to always work with copies. I just went few steps backwards. Double tap, and now the widget I move to the cylinder, and actually then it figures out the cylinder orientation, and now I can move this along the cylinder to where I need it to be. Maybe I would like to have a little bit more of a lag. Okay, very good. So then I can select this. Oh, that's very good. Lines up nicely. So, cool. I'm going to make myself a copy of each here. Forward, backwards, and then I go to down here and say move those to there. So I move them actually out of this folder. Now I only have these 3 objects as copies. Okay, so now again, you and you join. Very nice. Then I can round this. Yeah, this looks good. Do one double check. Does this go over the midline? It does not. Okay. You saw how the fillet actually did not flow over there that much. So what about we do this a little bit wider? Okay. We need to 2 millimeters. Keep this in mind. And okay, you see there, this works better. So maybe 2 millimeter was a little bit too much. So let's see, 0.8. Yeah, 0.8 is already sufficient. Good. What I'm looking for is when I look at the bottom, I want sleeves later there to be. So these sleeves should not go closer over the midline, and they do not. So this is actually pretty good. Let's actually turn this one on, and here this fillet we set to 1.8. Now we need to make this consistent, and then the same also here. This is a very good demonstration to show how great direct modeling adjustments actually work in Shaper. Very good. There, perfect match. Very nice. Okay. So we transferred the changes over to our original copy. So this is fine. Good. So this is actually now the 0.6 is the fillet we will use. And over this, I would like to build a sleeve. I delete this on purpose because what I will do now is all this. Let's see, is this enough to expand? Yeah, 1.1, very good. So then this is 0.7. See how I'm making everything bigger. And this will be 1.9. And this surface 0.1. Very good. So we added up actually more material. And this is already part of our sleeve. You will see actually just in a moment what we will do. Okay, good. Let's go back. So this is our original part there, number 1, number 2, number 3. That's together. We make a copy, move this down, move this up, and also move this out. This folder, hide it. This we can delete. Then actually, yeah, we can join them together. Very good. And here we set 0.6 for the fillet. Very nice. Okay, now so this is the inside, and the inside we will remove from the outside. That's the whole trick. Now at this point, there we can see how there this all works perfect. But yeah, this actually we didn't really need to expand. So we can move this back. Now there you see how this is flush. This is then 1.7. Oh, 1.8. Let's see. Oh, 1.8, yeah. Ah, there. That was the wrong body. Very good. Very nice. Again, I made actually this mistake with the outside surface on purpose just to show you how you can adjust everything afterwards. But now you can clearly see that this and this is actually somewhat thicker. So now what's the inside? What is the outside? This is the inside. Let's extend this a little bit. There, now you can see how this sticks out. Very good. So from the outside, we want the inside to remove. Wonderful. This one we can delete. This is not really a very nice looking end. How can we trim this? It's actually easy. You remember here we made this one cylinder. Let's do this again. There we are. U and U align. Then this is already in the correct folder. There we are. Very good. So from this one, I would like this to remove. Don't keep it. There we are. There's a little fragment here. So let's delete it. Show the rest. And look at that. This edge is actually super flush and paper thin. So we will round this a little bit. As you can see also, this is a little bit of a time-consuming command. Well, it's actually maybe a tick too small. Ah, there, and this is better. Maybe too aggressive. 0.05. Yeah, this is better. There. Now you can see it is actually much easier to see that this sits on that surface. And when this is too tight, you can always move this back a little bit. Beautiful. Now to make our work a little bit easier, I will select these two, drag them out, and drag them in here. And then I will call this foot. I only have to model this one time. I can select the whole group, go to your front view, more, mirror, tap on the grid. Done. There we are. Now we have two. And then select each, the view, more, mirror, tap on the screen or on the grid. And done. Okay, so now left is the grip and the interface. So let me hide these elements. We can call this body. So how can we do those elements? It's actually very simple. This is a circle that is swept along a curve that is actually smaller or sitting inside this body. So there is the profile and the path is here. There you see it. So in this view, now this is the desired outline of the massage tool. And there here you see the endpoints are inside and they go down. And all we need to do is select half. If we want, we can select both. Select the arc and then select sweep. And then this we move out. Let's take a look. Very good. And there we are. And the further it goes down, so I mean, the further the ends go down, the shorter the distance will be. In the sketch folder, I also have the grip layout. So for example, for the top. So that's the way how I wanted them to left and right and position wise be. So I can make a copy of this, bring this over, make a copy. So this obviously has to go down a little bit more. This has to go down. Yeah, so now I need to figure out, okay, so this is too far to the left and maybe a tick further up. Now, because of the grid snapping, it actually really jumps. So I make this a little bit smaller. Let's see how this works. Yeah, very close. center this. When you zoom in more, in general, the steps get much finer. You see this? Very useful. So not only the grid, but also the increment move, and then move this even down more. Way too far up. Yeah, that's very close. There. Very nice. Also here, this is symmetrical. Select both. Front view, mirror, tap on the screen, done. And there we are. And then we could copy those into a new folder and store them for reference. In our case, we will fuse them right onto it. And select each one edge, millimeter, so 0.1 centimeter. Very good. Okay, so last detail. The battery opening. So with the button, we actually really cut the space out. Let me reposition this onto this. So when I go onto this flat face, there was actually a cap of a cylinder. You see how I can move this one out. So we could prototype, visualize, take it apart, put something else in. Here, in this case now, all I actually want to do is build something right into the surface. So it's not meant as a prototype in terms of having a piece I could remove, but have a structure on the surface I could at least touch or feel. And I have an outer profile and the offset inside, and here another shape. So I will select the outer one, then select the face and do project. And there you see it projects it onto it. Very good. When we select two faces and project, see it goes on one face. So here's always project onto one face. And then again, it's also important that actually sketch first and then face, not the opposite, because I want to project the sketch onto the surface. And because it's a surface, it's not really projecting the sketch on the surface, it's actually slicing the surface. If I select the surface and then the sketch, I project the edge from the surface into the sketch. So it's actually really important to understand the difference there. Oh, this is getting tight. Okay. And project. Yeah, it's a really tiny fragment. Very good. And then this project there. This project onto there. And one more time onto this. Very good. Now with these faces actually sliced, we can select them. I will extrude this out 0.1 centimeter. Then I can round this by the extrusion height. And this basically makes a fillet that sits on the surface. And then I will select all these tiny fragments we created minus 0.01. Just a tiny bit. Okay, now this did not work. Let's do this one more time. I have a feeling maybe because this is so tiny here, there is a little bit of problem. Yeah, okay, good. So technically speaking, what I have here is also not really ideal because it is really, it's not really a very good geometry to have this tiny element there. So this one, I would like to see what happens when I do this. Minus 0.01. Actually, hold on. Tools and offset this one. Yeah. So there's kind of like what I have there is not really ideal. You saw with the other shape, actually, it worked. So, what can I do now? Let me show you actually a second way. So I actually remove all these edges here. There. Also here. Can actually clean this up. Yeah, not all. Some edges we can remove. Some are more difficult. There. This we can remove. Okay. So how could we do this differently? It's actually easy. And another great example of the amazing capability of Shaper and direct modeling. So this surface I want to cut in there, but you can see that this is flat and this is curved. I need to fold this surface over this surface. And that's actually the replace face command. There, you see now how this got moved. Done. Okay, very good. Then I can select this, move this in as needed, and then you remove this one. And there we have exactly the same result. There is a little bit of a cut of this button I can see there, so it intersected a little bit. Now to fix this, what I could do is I go backwards all the steps. So let's do this. This is actually a common situation. You try something out and have an idea how this could work. It does not always have to, however, work. I, in my case, actually created a layout which was not very suitable for this type of a task. Oh, do this again. So you fold over this face there. Very good. minus 0.1. And subtract. Yes. You also notice how fast actually this was. Now, yeah, the surfaces were much, much easier. And now I can simply select this, create myself a nice extrusion. Very good. Bring this over. So, this is not really how I want. What can I do here? Check this out. So we make another copy there, and then this copy I will move to here, and then this face I will fold over this one. Okay, so I have to select the correct object. There it is, it's inside. Let's move this back out. There we are. And we can rotate this. Sorry, I meant fillet this. Now this was the copy, just to show you how we brought this one in. And it's up to us now to decide, do we want to fuse this onto it? This was kind of like our intent. Okay, let's select both, make a union. So it's one body. There we are. So you see, instead of slicing the surface and then taking the elements and extruding them out or in, we simply created geometry, folded them over the surface, and then used them to cut in or build up a surface. Good. And let's take a look what we have. There we are. And this is pretty much the way how you would create such a hand massage tool, which has actually quite complicated details, but I hope via the sketching and the direct modeling tips and tricks I provided to you, you saw that this is actually not very difficult.